Logistics in the 21st century. For many years, the importance of logistics was diminished and most entrepreneurs considered it a secondary resource. However, as we've already said, in times of war, it played a crucial role in a number of military campaigns whose success lies on the efficiency task of the supply chain or logistics rather than in the intelligence of the commander or the bravery of his troops. Civilizations prospered because they managed to find a way of efficiently obtaining the resources they needed, while the cause of the extinction of others can be found in practical factors such as the inability to obtain resources for their survival. And that is to say, logistics suitable for their needs. Logistics go beyond having a good transport system or finished products. For finished products, its real purpose is at the right time to make the entire distribution chain from the supply of raw materials to the final delivery of goods and services work synchronously and predict all the possible difficulties. Nowadays, when technology has radically transformed the lifestyles and culture of consumers, logistics has modified the traditional relationship between concepts, customer satisfaction, and fulfillment of the company's goals. The evolution of these services leads to the emergence of intelligent logistics, which is capable of adapting to permanent changes in the environment for the sake of business development and the growing expectations for progress in the export goods. Current international logistics have become one of the key sectors in the current global economic environment, as it serves a vital function in the movement of international economic globalization, foreign trade, new technologies such as the internet, and the models of support for the industrial activity. Just-in-time logistics implies that an adequate international logistics infrastructure is an essential element for the positioning of any country in the international economic landscape. The study of the international logistics movement is said to be one of the most important factors when it comes to the understanding of the international economic situation and the insertion of various countries into the globalized world economy. The significance of this study lies in the strategic nature of the logistics flows, which it explains as explained below. The logistics sector accounts for a significant percentage of the gross domestic product of national economic activities, implying that everything related to its management, regulation, and promotion would directly affect the economic situation of any country. The logistics sector is within the tertiary activities, largely within the industrial sector. And the logistics sector is the path by which new marketing systems appear through the innovative economy of products offered on the internet, which means that a fast, safe, and efficient logistics infrastructure is necessary for this new marketing system to reach such a dimension that it truly revolutionizes the international economic structure. Economic globalization through offshoring, expansion of the large multinational groups, or large areas of economic integration give rise to the need for new logistics concepts that can meet the requirements of the new landscape of economic globalization. In the context of strategic importance of the international logistics, possible competitive advantages and disadvantages at the national level are set in order to establish what current perspectives and future approaches in this sector are. The key elements that define the current logistics and mark the trends that will be followed in the intermediate future are as diverse as the physical infrastructures, the application of new technologies, the application of information as a critical factor in the logistics process, the relation between logistics and society, or the alteration of the traditional production chain. Cargo containers. Use of containers, which has led to economic globalization on an international level, is one of the most outstanding advances in the fast evolution of international logistics in recent years. Cargo containers are available in various shapes or sizes, standard and general purpose containers that withstand harsh sea conditions, or high cube containers, which are often used for lightweight and high volume loads. Right, it's taller, isn't it? Other containers are shown below. The open-top container has a tarpaulin, which allows easy loading and unloading, and it's waterproof. On the right is a refrigerated container, which permits transporting goods at a controlled temperature, such as fruit, meat, and dairy products. The flat rack container is used for heavy loads. Its walls are folding and has no roof, which means it's ideal for oversized cargo. Finally, we have the tank container. Although the external structure is rectangular, it makes the stacking of various containers possible. Liquids and gases can be transported. Right on, right. When you want to move some merchandise by sea, you must calculate the demand forecast with the help of commercial departments, which has the estimated sales volume for a given period. Moreover, it is necessary to know and to calculate the volume of the containers, both full and empty, that will arrive at the port in order to check and see if the quantity can satisfy the demand. If the amount meets the expectations, it is said to be stock in balance. But if the quantity is too great, it's said to be stock as surplus, which has to be dealt with by emptying containers and sending them to another generation where they might be required. The advantages of using containers include the variety. This transport is very flexible, so you can transport anything from raw manufactured to frozen products. Lower cost due to the improvement in transit times. The merchandise operational handling is reduced, and one can save on insurance costs due to the decrease in the risk of thefts. Speed, fastest handling in ports, and as a result, vessels stay in port less time. And the track, each container has an identification code that allows monitoring a large number of goods through simple registration, which facilitates the operation when it comes to intermodal transport while permitting the owner to assign criteria of priority and urgency to the goods he or she wants. And finally, internalization, a widespread use all over the world. The monitoring and localization of goods. Various information technologies developed and improved in recent years have contributed to the change of traditional management styles of organizations to the extent that they can provide more powerful tools that facilitate the collection, access, processing, and analysis of information, enabling the user to monitor, plan, forecast, and make quick and more accurate decisions. Additionally, they allow greater control over the resources of the company and integration with a certain value chain. The transport of goods has not been unaffected by this technological evolution. On the contrary, it has progressively included new technologies in their process, contributing to the objectives of the fleet management, optimizing the use, efficiency, and operation of vehicles that provide a transport service. In general, the role of technology within fleet management has focused on the improvement of the communication, control, and safety of operations, represented in a wide variety of information systems and tools to simplify the traceability and tracking of good transport vehicles. The technology applicable to fleet management is the RFID technology, radio frequency identification. There's an automatic data transmission technology that uses radio frequencies to communicate information between the reader and the electronic tags. The e-tags using electromagnetic waves to send information from the tag to the reader. This system allows the capture of data without the need of establishing a contact between the reader and the tag, thus eliminating direct visual contact. The advantages presented by RFID, or radio frequency identification, can be used to identify a vehicle in different stages of the transport process, so strategically locating reading points at the loading destination or intermediate stations, such as tolling, reduction of errors in information about the products or objects identified, the accurate records of the entry or exit of the identified objects at strategic points, the improvement of the response time of all agents. With the RFID technology, it is possible to connect all phases of the supply chain in real time, boosting the traceability and the quality, making deliveries more efficient, and reducing management and operation costs. Route planning systems. Another very important aspect that should be taken into account when we want to move the goods is to plan the route we need to follow so as to get it to the final destination. This planning also includes aspects such as vehicles intended for delivery operations and collection of customer orders. The factors that should be considered in order to calculate the optimal route are the driver's fees, the vehicle capacity, the preferable and maximal route length, preferred and maximum route length, multiple warehouses and distribution centers, traffic at rush hour, the address and location of clients. Route planning is a very important advantage, such as significant reduction of kilometers, vehicles, and overtime, better management of vehicle capacity, optimization of rerouting, meaning days, not months, and significant reduction in the time of routing. Here are some more improvements. Improvement in customer service, reduction in the loading time, delivery management solutions. It provides the driver with an application to view daily stop lists and keep an eye on departure and arrival times and delivery service times. It also allows the user to send new stops or route chases and obtaining reports quickly and easily. Now we have become GPRS management systems. GPRS helps to control vehicles of the same country as it focuses on the traceability of transport. Once vehicle location, global positioning satellite, right? And speed are determined from GPRS tracking capabilities transmit the information to the fleet manager software information. The great advantage is that vehicles can be traced from any point in the world that have access to the internet. Each user is identified, and then a map appears and shows where he or she can locate the managed elements, mainly vehicles. This system aims to control vehicles, people, machines, and tools, allowing us to know with utmost precision their working time and the location of their GPRS/GPS unit installed and connected to the internet. The most important advantages of this technology are the reducing costs and improving efficiency, increased productivity, discipline and responsibility on the part of the worker, since it implies a lack of punctuality implies a lack would be detected at all times, confirmation of the work done by each worker. Information about working hours of both the worker and the vehicle, help with the distribution of work, preventing the use of the vehicle outside working hours and at the weekends, reduction of fuel consumption and management administration costs. Portable terminals, enterprise mobility. It is a solution integrated in the next generation portable terminals that allow taking advantage of the most innovative technologies related to capturing and accessing the information as well as communication with voice data, GPS, internet access, email, reading of barcodes, and capturing images and signatures. In short, it could be said that many of the tasks and processes that could previously only be carried out from a central administrative office and that required use of paper are transformed into an external environment. These next generation portable terminals are the size of a personal agenda and they integrate to a barcode reader. Wireless communications for closed environments or public telephone networks, digital cameras, push-to-talk technology, signature capture, and voice recognition. The main advantages of this are cost savings due to the greater efficiency of different operating processes, the higher level of service quality and of customer satisfaction, the use of paper decreases and the manual input of data is eliminated. The daily activity of the distributor can be transmitted in real time to central systems. Therefore, the company can be up to date with the status of its distribution network, incidents, service performed, etc. And it enables solving unexpected problems and, if necessary, relocating tasks and resources along the way thanks to the push-to-talk, voice technology, and GPS. Now comes the benefits for the client. The improvement in the transport system described above, which result in reduced time and cost, guarantees slower rates and shorter order cycles to the final customer. Insofar as it's better fleet management, the customer can count on a more reliable and efficient transport service. If the transport company has better communication and monitoring systems for their vehicles, the following benefits can be obtained. The greater agility and efficiency in the search for a vehicle and its location when it comes to responding to a service request. The possibility of knowing in real time the location and occupations of vehicles implies greater control over their operations and the more efficient use of the fleet. Permanent monitoring of transport operations and its registration of its associated information allows detecting problems. Currently, some countries are still underdeveloped when it comes to the use of information technologies as tools for traceability and collaboration with the aim of integrating fleet information and transport services. Logistics and ecology. In a world of finite resources and waste disposal, the recovery of products and materials is key to supporting population growth and increased consumption levels. The reduction of waste has started to be very important to industrialized countries. Therefore, the concept of material cycles has gradually changed the perception of the economy. And it is increasingly common that companies are expected to minimize the environmental impact generated by their products and processes. Moreover, legislation that extends the responsibility for products has become a crucial element in public environmental policies. At the same time, companies have recognized the opportunity to combine environmental protection with the existing financial benefits to save production costs and access new market segments. And among the environmental measures that can be highlighted here are control or reducing emissions, improving energy efficiency, using alternative fuels. Today, there will be still a few types of alternative fuel in the market because of the difficulty of supplying them. Changing transport systems. High emissions are caused by the use of air transport. That's why the main transport system should be changed to a less polluting one. Designing more efficient transport routes. As we have seen in this topic, there are new technology to help to achieve a more efficient design of transport routes. It is especially of great importance in cities with traffic and emissions problems. The technology help to improve the routes and consequently reduce the elimination as well as saturation of certain cities. And locating warehouses. The optimal location of storage centers entails a direct reduction of the logistics flow of the company. Now we come to reverse logistics. Reverse logistics aims to collect, dismantle, and then disassemble used items and components, as well as elements of a different kind in order to destroy or take advantage of them through recycling, for the purpose of safeguarding the environment and protecting natural resources. It is also in charge of recovery and recycling of containers and packages, as well as hazardous waste. There are companies that use reverse logistics when dealing with the returning overstock merchandise, refunds to customers, and obsolete and seasonal products. Return of a product packages, return of scrap, return of final use, substitution, maybe a couple of items. causes that generate the need for reverse logistics: defective goods, returning overstocked merchandise items, customer returns, obsolete products, seasonal inventories, non-compliance with specifics. However, reverse logistics present a number of disadvantages when compared to ordinary logistics. The requested services are random and unpredictable. The distribution is not done from the center to multiple customers, but if it's possible, we will look for them. But multiple customers, but the other way around, from various scattered points to the manufacturer. A lack of uniformity in the packaging that is used in this type of shipment might be common. Unlike conventional stitched logistics, the speed is not considered a priority. The benefits for the client: the improvement of the transport system described. Right, we're going into reverse logistics. Right, here are some of the disadvantages when it comes to over ordinary statistics. Getting a little bit. In conclusion, reverse logistics is a recent issue, and many countries are still not familiar with it. However, it's important. It should not be underestimated, as it helps to preserve the environment by recycling materials that endanger the terrestrial ecosystems. And in order to implement the system of reverse logistics efficiently, one should raise awareness and encourage full cooperation among all stakeholders. It requires the human resources, the distributors, the transport, and the end users. The consequence of what is described in this section is clear. In the coming years, reverse logistics will revolutionize the business world, and it will probably become one of the fastest growing businesses at the beginning of the third millennium.